Today I'll be continuing my free-to-play series on Guild Wars 2, and specifically we'll be talking about any of the limitations or restrictions you'll face as a free-to-play player. In this video I'd like to talk about any of the social aspects of Guild Wars 2. After all, this is an MMO and you're bound to eventually want to socialize or at least party with other players. Before we talk about any of the social limitations in Guild Wars 2, there is something I feel the need to point out first, especially in the early parts of the core experience, so what you'll have available to you as a free-to-play player, you won't really find yourself in dire need of other players to complete any of the content before you. That's not to say that you won't be playing with other players, it's just that the game doesn't require you to find other people in order to complete any particular content. A great example of this in Guild Wars 2 are events, or basically live quests. You can see these on the map or the mini-map shown in orange, and every player on a map will see those same orange markings. In this way, players will often find each other to complete certain events simply by following the markers on the map, but for the most part, once that event's been completed, you will probably find yourself going off on your own adventure, as will the other players that helped you complete that event. At no point do you need to form a party or even speak to the other players to complete that content, and then you're on your way. Now with that said, of course you can talk to other players, and perhaps they'll talk to you while doing an event or other kinds of content, and this is where some of the free-to-play limitations lie. If you'd like to send a player a whisper or a direct message, you'll be able to send a whisper to basically anybody in the game. You can whisper people on your friends list as much as you like, and even players on the same map as you, but if you or the other player you're whispering that's not on your friends list should happen to leave the map you're both on, you'll be limited to one message every 30 seconds. There's also a map chat channel allowing you to speak with everyone on the current map that you're playing on, but as a free-to-play player, you'll only be able to read map chat and won't be able to respond. A good workaround for this is Say Chat, which allows you to speak to players in a certain vicinity around your character without speaking to the entire map at once. There's another chat channel called Squad Chat, and this is for parties bigger than 5 players. Squad Chat isn't completely locked off like Map Chat, and instead you'll just have to make it to level 30 before you'll be able to use this feature. But if you should happen to find yourself in a squad before level 30, you will still be able to read the Squad Chat and know what's going on, you just won't be able to respond. There's no direct trading between players in Guild Wars 2, so in order to send or receive items, you're basically going to be doing that through the mail system. Mail becomes available at level 6, and on a free-to-play account, this will be limited to mutual friends. Even while sending mail to mutual friends, you won't be able to attach any gold or items to your mail, but you will be able to receive those items and gold if someone should send you a bit of a new player care package when you start playing the game. At the beginning of the video, I tried to explain why partying with other players isn't as essential as it might be in other games, but eventually you will want to find a party for certain types of content, and the best way to do this is to use the Looking for Group tool. Looking for Group is actually off limits until at least one character on your account reaches level 30, but after getting one character to 30, you never have to worry about this limitation again. Not only will you not need a party to complete any content up until level 30, but the first piece of content that does require a group is dungeons, and that's basically optional content in Guild Wars 2. You'll unlock dungeons around level 25 to 30, so around the time that you would unlock the Looking for Group tool, you'll be able to use that for dungeons if that's a piece of content you want to try. Also, another way to get around the Looking for Group tool is simply to be on the same map as players that you'd like to party up with. The Looking for Group tool isn't actually a requirement to form parties, but it is one of the best ways to track down other players looking to do the same kind of content that you do. If you happen to be on the same map with other players, you can simply right-click their name and add them to your party. The ultimate form of social interaction in any MMO has got to be joining a guild together, and fortunately for Guild Wars 2, there are no restrictions as far as joining a guild is concerned. Until level 30, you will be missing out on the Looking for Group tool, which does have one search field for guilds, but guilds more often tend to recruit in map chat, something that you can at least read and respond to with whisper chat, so you should have no problem finding a guild. While there are no limitations as far as joining a guild is concerned, once you're in a guild, you may notice that there are some limitations. Guilds can work together to unlock something called a guild hall, which is a customizable instance for your guild, and you can continue to progress guild halls to unlock different features, some of which are off limits. The features you won't have access to are things like guild storage or the guild bank system allowing you to share items with your guild members, guild enhancements, which are free buffs that you can get through your guild. You won't have access to the guild miniatures vendor, which allows you to unlock some miniatures, but isn't a huge limitation. Guild halls also have arenas that special game modes can be played in that you unfortunately won't be able to participate in. And lastly, there's a crafting discipline known as scribing that's unique to guild halls, but free-to-play accounts won't have access to. And if you're unfamiliar with scribing, this crafting discipline allows you to craft some of the decorations you can place around your guild hall. Guild halls themselves come in 3 types. There's either Gilded Hollow, Lost Precipice, or Windswept Haven. Of those 3, only one guild hall is unavailable to free-to-play players, and that's Windswept Haven. If you're someone joining a guild for the social aspect, this probably isn't a crazy limitation, but if you're someone out there hoping to get some advantages out of guild halls, it's best to steer clear of Windswept Haven. And that, guys, is all I wanted to cover in today's video, just giving you some idea of how you'll be able to interact with other players in Guild Wars 2 as a free-to-play account. I'd like to give a huge thanks to Dorian B from my Discord, who actually allowed me access to his guild hall to do a little bit of research and figure out what exactly is off limits. The guild is called Legends of the Gods, and I couldn't agree more. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. I hope this was helpful or informative to anybody looking into free-to-play. As always, thank you for watching this or any other one of my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.